back to those of you that have been around the world for the last month. How awesome that just today is you're all three of your first day back. It's so perfect. Today's talk is kindness, and it was inspired by, it's really awesome how these classes are coming together, because none of this was built prior to me thinking I want to do these classes, so every week it's a new build. And what happened this week is my husband said, "You're turning 44. What do you want to do for your birthday?" And I was like, oh God, my birthday. I don't know how you guys feel about your birthdays, but to me, I kind of resist it. I'm like, ugh. And it lands on a Sunday this time, and I usually work through my birthdays. And what I've done in the past is I've gifted anyone who, okay, now you all know, that I gift sessions to all my clients. They come, if they book on my birthday, I'm like, for my birthday, I want to treat you to a session today, and if you want, you can take this money and donate it to another charity or something else that you believe in. But because it landed on a Sunday this year, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I said to my husband, you know what I really would love is to raise the frequency of the earth. That's not too big of an ask, is it? For my birthday, is there a way that we could raise the frequency of the planet? And he's like, okay, so you don't want me to invite a bunch of people over? I'm like, no, I don't want a bunch of people over. And he's like, well, what do you think? And I said, I don't know, some kind of a pay it forward. And he's like, okay. And I came up with this amazing plan, which I'm going to share. I'm going to invite each of you to join me this week in this idea. So the whole theme around that concept became kindness. And I just want you to think about what kindness means to you, and how maybe you've received some kindness from, and where that kindness has come your way, or when you're giving kindness, what does that offer you? And just take a minute to journal about that. We're going to start by just journaling the concept of kindness. Because when I moved to town 20 years ago, someone had done it. And about 6 years ago, I was driving around town going, oh, they're rotting. They're falling away. Oh, they should do that again. Oh, they should really get on that. Oh, they should do that. And then one day I woke up and thought, why should they do it? Why can't I do that? And then I ended up getting a group of kids, actually, really great kids. They had so much fun. And missionaries showed up, and they helped me from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're like, okay, well, missionaries are so helpful. Well, yeah, we'll do that. And then, yeah, that's the signs that, so little ways to boost. What's that?
What were they?
The signs around town that, oh, like,
I love them too. They make me happy every time I see them.
yeah, me too. You guys can do them too. They're the love, and you're loved more than you know, or believe in someone today, or be open to good things, like really nice positive messages that I just
little colorful ones that put all the different wooden like poles, or the electricity poles and stuff around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's 3 that were done that were really, really like more artistic. Those weren't me. Or those weren't the kids and I. So they were more like Bob Marley, like One Love, and they had a big peace sign. That one I didn't know, and I can't take credit for that. But yay to the person who did it.
Oh.
Well, I thought Bob Marley said it best in the next slide. The greatness of a woman. I changed his words a little bit because it was man, and I thought, well, that's not right. The greatness of a woman. We're talking to women today, right?
That's really what he meant.
Yeah. No woman. He was writing that for me because he knew I'd have a problem with this.
Right.
The greatness of a woman is not how much wealth she acquires, but in her integrity, and this part is awesome, and in her ability to affect those around her positively. Now the word affect is so true, really affect. It's when we can, kindness is we affect someone in some way, right? It's somehow we've affected their lives. We've changed their way of being. We've affected them. And so when I was thinking about my birthday this weekend, I thought, like, I wouldn't be who I am without the women who are in this group with me here today, who all in a big way have supported a part of me that needed to get up and do this. And so you've affected me, and I want to say thank you so much for affecting my life in such a positive way, helping me to move into a path that was really important for me, and you're all here supporting that. So I wouldn't be who I am without you in this moment today. For those of you that are watching online, I've created these gratitude stones that the idea is for you to go and find 4 stones or 4 triggers of some kind, and you can download the write-up that is on each of these little cards, and think about someone who's affected your life in a positive way and hand them one to keep, and then give them the other 3 to pass on and pay it forward to people who have made a big effect in a positive way in their lives. It's very simple. You can purchase, what I did was I purchased little glass beads, and then I glued magnets onto the back, and I just got glass pen, and I wrote 444 as the trigger number, so that each and every time they see that number, that will trigger that they made a big difference in someone's life in a positive way. So you can do this at home with anything that works for you, or if you want, you can let me know, and I'll ship some out to you. We can talk about ordering some of these and maybe get that going a bigger way. So let me know. Thanks. Last night, Nellie and I, everyone knows Nellie, she's helping me put the workbooks together, and she says, why 444? And I said, well, you know, it's my 44th year. I was born April 4th, but I've always sort of had this connection with 444 since 5 years ago. I was creating a CD. Did I tell you guys this? It feels like I talked about this. I was creating a CD, and out of nowhere I was like, I have to put 444 in there. And it was for you, for appreciation, for you forever, right? And I just had to put it in there. And then it found out that someone had bought that CD 2 years later. She said that the 444 changed her life. She started after listening to the CD, saw that number everywhere. She ended up walking the Camino and doing that big walk, and her whole life transformed. She ended up taking the hypnotherapy course, which I didn't give the suggestion that she would take the hypnotherapy course when she saw 444, so that was just awesome. Anyways.
That's how we get new students.
What's that? Subliminal, right? So that number has always kind of stood out. So that was sort of what kind of came to me. But, you know, Nellie said, you know, 111 is the number of angels. And she looked it up and she showed it, and I was like, no, it's 444, right? Like, it still feels like 444. All right, so I go to bed. I finished all the magnets last night with my daughter. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm showing them to my husband this morning. We're chatting, and my daughter comes in and she's in a rage. Mommy, the iPad isn't working. It's disabled. Look, it's disabled. And it says something. And I look at it, and it's about 8:10 in the morning, and guess what time is on the iPad? Okay, so that in itself is interesting. I'm like, whoa, that's weird that the time is saying 444. And then it said, this iPad, has anyone ever seen this, is disabled for 39,997 minutes. Okay, has anyone ever seen this? No, her iPad this morning said this iPad is disabled for 39,997 minutes. And she said, how long is that? Of course, this little muffin is like freaking out, like that's a lot of minutes, right? And I said, okay, I'll just Google how long that is, because I couldn't figure it out in my brain. I don't know why, but I Google it, and do you know what it said? 44.4444444 days. Yeah, that happened this morning. Okay, so my husband's like, what does that mean? What? And I'm like, angels, the universe is saying that I see a ripple, a massive ripple. This box is so powerful. Can you guys do you get how powerful? Like from this moment, you're all gonna go your separate ways. You're all gonna do your thing, but the world is gonna ripple out this huge change. In some way, we don't know how. We can't know how. We know how. We don't know why or what. But each of you, and so I was like, well, clearly it's a sign of some kind. I think it is. Am I crazy?
I like it. That's awesome.
Right?
Why not?
If it's okay. So I said to my husband, what time does it say on the iPad now? Look, he says 4:45. So it's not even like the clock was stuck on 4:44. Its time was still moving, which blew my mind. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about someone who's affected you in a really big way. Think about, I know there may be a couple of people that come forward, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that exercise. Okay, so let's do this. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn to page 4. And what we're gonna do is kindness pages. So this will seem a little familiar because we've used this technique in the past for low frequency releasing, but now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use this technique to bring in the highest frequency ever. So kindness pages are a minimum of 3 pages of longhand stream of conscious writing addressed to the persons who have affected your life in a positive way. So what I want you to do is really just let your subconscious flow with whoever comes forward. So maybe your mom, it may be your kids, it may be all these other opportunities of ideas of people who have affected your life in a positive way to come forward and just get it all out on paper, and then we'll take the next step. So this is stream of conscious writing. So start off with someone, think of someone who's affected your life in a big way. Start with that, and then so I would be writing about my Nana, my friend Phoebe, my husband, my sister, my kids. I would just sharing. And what is it? Well, don't miss this part. What is it that affected you in a big way with each of them? So as you're writing, okay? And we're gonna fill 3 pages of goodness. For those of you that are done, you can move forward, and what I want you to do is go through your pages and find the qualities that stand out and the people that stand out. And so for example, I was working at the Whistle Stop Pub, so mine that stands out as far as a person who changed my life and affected me in a big way was Sheila Joyner. And she pulled me aside. I was a waitress at this bar, and she said, Jeannie, you're destined to help more people. If you stay here, you'll be here for another 15 years. I want you to go to North Island College and find a career, find something that you want to do, and I'll give you any shifts that it takes for you to go back to school and do what you're meant to do, find your career. So she's on my list of Sheila Joyner saw more in me than I saw in myself, and she made it possible for me to choose a career that fit me at the right time. So I want you to get clear with what it is that they said, what they did, what action it was, and write down and try to come up with 10 of them out of the 3 pages that you just wrote, okay? Is that clear?
10 per person?
No, 10, see if you can find 10 in the 3 pages. or a little less or more, right?
And write those 10.
And write them down. Yeah. So the qualities, what they said to you that made a difference, what action they did, really, now that it's all clear, okay? Okay. So if each of you completes this project, that means that 44 people in the world are going to be affected in a powerful way. How was that thinking about just even remembering what it was that they said or did? Pretty powerful, hey? Yeah. So on average, how many people came forward for you on your 3 pages? We're gonna go around the room and I'm gonna just take a quick little note.
I've got about 10.
You got 10 people who came forward, okay.
6.
10,
8.
okay.
6.
Sorry?
6.
6, okay. Nikki,
Probably about 10. Probably about 10.
got 10,
7.
okay.
14.
Okay.
6.
Okay. Perfect.
10.
Okay. Okay. So, how do I do this? Let's think this through. This is an opportunity. There is a list of people on each of your sheets that affected you in a positive way. And if I tally all this up, oh, I hear it. I hear some of you are screaming, some aren't on this earth anymore. What if they're gone? I hear it in my head. I'm like, okay, I'm getting to that. Don't you worry. Because there are obviously, on my list, I have people that are no longer on this earth. But that doesn't mean that we can't still connect with them in a really powerful way today. And I'm going to teach you how you can do that and still get to share what it was to share to them, what it was that made a big difference and affected you in a really positive way. And let me just say there's not enough tissue here if you're going to do some of that work today, because I did it with my Nana yesterday. Oh, I was like, felt so good to see her. It was amazing. We sat in the garden at the Truth Center down in Victoria, her favorite place, surrounded by maple trees, and she was so excited to see me. So like, it doesn't matter if they're not here on this earth, you can share with them what it was that they did and how they affected you in a positive way, and it doesn't matter, the mind doesn't know the difference. It just thinks you're sitting with your Nana. So I highly recommend that as an option today. I'm going to teach you how to do some work. If you do have on your list someone who has passed away, let's take the opportunity to connect with them if you want, or you can connect with someone who's alive and do it a pre-plan, and we're going to express to them what you wrote down. Can we just share some of the so what was the total?
89.
How many?
89.
So 89 and then times 3. Okay, what's 89 times 3?
270.
270. Well done.
67.
Well done. Okay, so we have about 270. So 270 plus 44. What's that? 104? 314. In this small little room, by just taking the time, we could potentially affect almost 350 people just with our little group right here today. If we all followed through on that little prompt that says, hey, they popped up in our mind today, I'm going to take the effort, I'm going to reach out, either if they've gone off to the other side, we're going to do work that way, or I'm going to make an effort and reach out to them in another way. Now, I've started you off with some triggers, but you know what the best trigger is? You can go get a rock, you can get a marble, you can get anything, and it's the words that you share with them that make the biggest difference. Okay, so it really doesn't have to be anything fancy, or you can find something simple on your own, or I can talk to you about how to easily get my kids making a whole bunch more of these if you need them. So, okay, so now what I want you to do, I know you have a lot of choices. I want you to bring one to mind for today's work, okay? So choose one. if you have someone who has passed, this is a really great opportunity to connect with them. Yes, it's emotional, but it's good emotional. It feels wonderful to reconnect with them. What we're going to do is we're going to think about what you would want to say to them. How are you going to, what is it that you're going to say? How did they affect you? So from everything that you wrote down, take one more minute to get really clear with the person who you choose today to meet, and what words are you going to share to them about how they affected your life? Okay? All right, so everybody has the person that they're going to work with or meet today, and what it is that how they affected you in a big way. So what I want you to do is think about them. Think about where it is that they would normally enjoy going, or where they would like to meet with you, and just see what comes forward. So closing down your eyes and just focus on your breath and just invite the space, the idea of the space of where you want to meet to come forward. And when you have it, just raise your hand up in the air so I know that we're all ready to move forward. Okay? All right. Good. Just dropping down your hands. And just focusing on your breathing. Taking in a nice deep breath all the way in. And exhaling all the way out. And what we're going to start with is just focusing on think of the person that you want to meet today, who you want to bring forward. Think about what it is that you want to say, how they affected you in a big positive way. And I want you to think of a place where they would like to meet. So let an idea of the place of where they would probably enjoy meeting you, where that would be, and just let that come forward. All right. Now, before we meet with them, even though you may have already begun, I would like you to just simply focus on your breath. Breathing in, nice deep breath all the way in, and exhaling all the way out. Breathing in calmness and exhaling and letting go of any tensions, just making yourself more comfortable in that chair. Feel free to move to any position at any time that makes you feel more comfortable, just doing so slowly so as to not jolt yourself out of this space that you're creating within. I'd like you to imagine that you're at the top of a small set of stairs. A small set of stairs, 10 stairs to go down, in fact, and each step down on this staircase is a step into an even deeper state of relaxation. We're going to move from the top step all the way down to the bottom step. At the bottom step, there is a path that leads to a door. This door is your own unique healing space. This space has within it everything that you need to heal physically, mentally, and emotionally today. So moving down that staircase, nice and easy, from 10 down to 9, down to 8, relaxing even more comfortably into that chair. This time is all for you. Nobody's expecting anything. Nobody's needing anything. So you can just simply allow your physical body to become as calm and comfortable as you could ever imagine being, while still being able to hear all the sounds inside or outside of this space, but letting those sounds work for you, so that the only sound you really need to focus on is the sound of my voice. And my voice is here to act as a guide, to tap you into that powerful subconscious mind of yours. And you'll know you're in your subconscious mind when your thoughts are more random, random images, random feelings, random symbols. Just go with the random. Down to 7, moving down that staircase, nice and comfortable. Down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just following along that path leading to that door to your healing space, a space that knows you better than you know yourself, and it has within it everything you need to heal physically, mentally, and emotionally today. I'd like you to go ahead and just fill in all the details of what your door looks like today. Just imagine your door, whether it's made of wood or glass or something else. You decide. Just placing a symbol on this door that represents that this is the door to your healing space. Go ahead and do that now, any kind of symbol. In a moment, you're going to open that door and step inside. Just take notice of what's there waiting for you. This space knows you better than you know yourself, so just be open to receive whatever it has to offer you today. And some people's spaces are more clinical, some people's are more natural. Go ahead and just open that door and step inside and take notice of what's there waiting for you in that space. When I use my healing room, I have a wall of tinctures, those old perfume bottles with the long tubes and the puffy tube that you press with the tassels, and each one heals different areas, different emotional things going on, and I use those to heal physically, emotionally, spiritually. Or you can use something else. Go ahead and decide now. See yourself standing in the middle of the space, becoming lighter and lighter, surrounded by a lightness in feeling and in sight. Imagine a white light all around you beginning to shine from the inside out. Give yourself permission now to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually in the way that your subconscious mind can accept today will be good for you moving forward in your life. And allow whatever comes forward, use those tools or that movement or that place to allow that to begin. Give your body permission to heal now. Let it in. Cough if you need to cough, let it out. Is there a movement that feels right? Is there a space within that space that feels right? Or something else? Allow yourself to become lighter and lighter. Lighter and lighter. So that that white light's shining from the inside out through every cell, every nerve, every muscle, every tendon, every ligament. You're now ready to meet the person that you chose. Just cough if you need to cough, clear your throat. There's no need to resist it. You're now ready to meet that person that you chose to meet, and I want you to go to that place now. Be there now, that place that you chose. See them there waiting for you. Thank them for coming to meet with you today. Take their hand in your hand and share with them how they've positively affected your life. Imagine their light and your light shining brighter together, rippling out into all eternity. Connected in a very positive, gratitude-filled way. From this moment forward, anytime you wish to meet with them, all you'll simply need to do is visualize those 10 steps. Allow your physical body to relax deeper with each step you walk down. At the bottom of the stairs, picture your door with your very unique symbol on the door that symbolizes your healing space. Step into that space and allow that space to work for you. Each time you return to this space, you'll notice different things. As each time you return, you have grown, you've changed. And it knows better what you need than you know yourself. Be open to receive whatever comes forward in that healing space and allow Give yourself permission to heal. See yourself becoming lighter and brighter. And then just simply choosing the person who has made had the biggest effect in your life in a positive way, and choosing to meet with them. Being open to share with them what it is that they offered you that changed you. Be open to receive anything else that comes forward. Thank them. Thank them with all your heart right now for being there with you today. For you are always connected when you tune in this way. They're always there. Now in a moment I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. On the count of 5, just opening your eyes, coming back into this reality. 1, slowly, calmly, easily returning to your full awareness once again. 2, each nerve, muscle, tendon, ligament, and cell in your body has benefited from this wonderful time spent inwards. Notice what's different today. Notice the synchronicities. Watch for the symbols and the signs that came forward from today's session, in that session. 3 and 4, your eyes are beginning to feel sparkling and clear. When you leave this building, you'll be fully refreshed, invigorated, full of energy, feeling that light shining from the inside out. Others may come up to you and say you're glowing or drawn to your energy. Close talkers. You can just put up your protective bubble to back them away. They see that you've done this work and connected with yourself on a subconscious level. They know it. They don't know it consciously, but they know it subconsciously. So opening up your eyes, 5, and coming back into this reality. Have a good stretch. Say out loud the words wide awake. Yeah. I've been using this healing room technique since I graduated, since 2003, and it is so powerful, such a gift for you if you're ever having any tension or any pain or any discomfort in any way. Just close your eyes down. Imagine walking down a staircase. Mine now float in the air. Have I told you guys this? I have a staircase that I know that I'm walking down my staircase when I'm stepping onto floating granite and a river's in the air beside me, and I feel it sort of drop a little, and then I step onto my island, and my tree has my door, and I go into that healing space through the tree in the door, and if I have a neck thing, I take my perfume bottles that are, those funny ones.
Atomizer.
Yeah, and I just keep spritzing until it releases and lets go. It's really cool. And get playful with healing yourself in this room. Sometimes I spin really fast and I imagine all of the negativity flying off of me and going to like the black hole in the end of the universe.
Yeah.
Just keep playing, and the more you go back in, the more you can just have so much fun with your imagination healing yourself.
When you're in the room, are you seeing yourself in the room, or you are in the room? Because I kept going back and forth between looking at myself and then going back in.
That's what happens. I go back and forth between disassociated and associated. So sometimes I'll be working on me on the table. So I'll have myself on the table, and then I've got all these little tinctures and things that I'm working on me to make myself brighter, and other times I'm the one that's spinning, and yeah. Or even just sitting in a waterfall of light. I'll go in my room and the waterfall of light is just pouring into me. It's endless, have fun. And when you start to think a crazy thought, you're like, whoa, what was I was just doing ballerina dancing? Like, where did that come from? That is your subconscious allowing for you to heal in a really fun, playful, unique way, that as you dance like that, you're healing. It doesn't matter. The mind is a powerful tool, so use it to work for you. Did you meet with your Did you meet your person? Yeah, how was that?
It's good. I wasn't fully clear, I guess, because she kept changing it to other people.
Yes.
So I was kind of just meeting with a lot of people.
Perfect. And that's okay because we brought a lot of people forward
Yeah,
today.
I had them all in my head. Yeah.
Perfect. Cool. Your personal growth exercises this week are, yeah. Oh, this is so good. So let's go to number 2. Okay, let's go back to this. So this is, I love this little, so kindness. Kindness is an inner desire that makes us want to do good things. Even if we do not get anything in return, it is the joy we receive that drives these simple acts. Small and simple things, tiny drops. Go forth and be awesome, ladies. When you make a difference in someone's life, you make a ripple. You're not only impacting their life, but the lives of everyone that they touch. Remember, even the smallest drop of water affects the entire pond. One small act of kindness makes a world of difference. Please, keep track, if you can, of your kindness project that you're leaving here with today. Check back in with the person you gifted it to and see who they gifted it to and see if they'll, because what we want to hear is the stories of how far it reached and what transpired. I got this idea from Chicken Soup from the Soul. Has anybody ever read that book and the story of the blue ribbons? You haven't heard the blue ribbon story? No one's heard the blue ribbon story? Okay, well, we're going to end with a story. Okay, what time is it? Do I have time? Does everybody have time to listen to this? Have story time? I have 5 more minutes. Yay. Okay, so the Chicken Soup for the story goes like this. A teacher in New York decided to honor her seniors in high school by telling them the difference that they made in her life. Using a process developed by Helise Bridges of Del Mar, California, she called each student to the front of the class one at a time. First, she told them that they made a difference to her and the class. Then she presented each of them with a blue ribbon and printed it with gold letters that read, "Who I am makes a difference." Afterwards, the teacher decided to do a class project to see what kind of impact recognition would have on a community. She gave each of the students 3 more ribbons and instructed them to go out and spread this acknowledgement ceremony. Then they were to follow up on the results and see who honored whom and report back to the class in about a week. One of the boys in the class went to a junior executive in a nearby company and honored him for helping him with his career planning. He gave him a blue ribbon, put it on his shirt, then he gave him 2 extra ribbons and said, "We're doing a class project on recognition and we would like you to go out and find somebody to honor and give them a blue ribbon. Then give them the extra blue ribbon so they can acknowledge a 3rd person to keep this acknowledgement ceremony going. Then please report back to me and tell me what happened." Later that day, the junior executive went in to see his boss, who had been noted, by the way, as being kind of a grouchy fellow. He sat his boss down and told him that he deeply admired him for being a creative genius. Okay? The boss seemed very surprised. The junior executive asked him if he would accept the gift of a blue ribbon and give him permission to put it on him. His surprised boss said, "Well, sure." The junior executive took the blue ribbon and placed it right on his boss's jacket above his heart. As he gave him the last extra ribbon, he said, "Would you do me a favor? Would you please take this ribbon and pass it on by honoring somebody else? The young boy who first gave me the ribbons is doing a project in school and we want to keep this recognition ceremony going and find out how it affects people." That night, the boss went home to his 14-year-old son and sat him down. He said, "The most incredible thing happened to me today. I was in my office and one of the junior executives came in and told me he admired me and gave me a blue ribbon for being a creative genius. Imagine, he thinks I'm a creative genius. Then he put this blue ribbon on me and says, 'Who I am makes a difference.' I was driving and then he asked me to find somebody else to honor. As I was driving home tonight, I started thinking about whom I would honor with this ribbon, and I thought about you. I want to honor you. My days are really hectic, and when I come home, I don't pay a lot of attention to you. Sometimes I scream at you for not getting good enough grades in school and for your bedroom being a mess. But somehow tonight, I just wanted to sit here and, well, just let you know that you do make a difference in my life. Besides your mother, you are the most important person to me. You're a great kid, and I love you. The startled boy started to sob and sob and sob, and he couldn't stop crying. His whole body shook. He looked up at his father and said through his tears, I was going to commit suicide tomorrow, but now I don't have to because now I know you love me. It's a true story from Chicken Soup from the Soul. Oh, big one, hey? So our words are so powerful. They can make a huge impact in someone's life. Go forth and change and ripple it out. Spread that gratitude. Let them know that they made a difference. It's what we can do that makes a difference. Love you all. Thank you for being a big effect in my life.